spent the night with my uncle outside of Orlando. And they started back up again the next day, and they were, my uncle went downtown Orlando and talked to black men about registering to vote. And he said that they were just trembling for him to even mention to them about registering to vote. And he said that there were, on the other side of the street, there were white men in the town square, and that's probably where the fear came from. And so, of course, you know, he was, when he kept walking a while, he was shot. But he was not shot by a Mississippi white, he was shot by someone from, who lived in Memphis, who just happened to look up and see him, and he said, everybody step aside. I don't want anybody but James Meredith. And my uncle said he was just so off guard, he just threw himself on the ground. And is he related to you? The guy who shot, I read that somewhere, is that true?
No ma'am,
He's
no
not.
ma'am. By no way is he related to,
Okay, thank you.
only claim one.
All right, okay, thank you.
Yes ma'am.
And so that was interesting because Mr. Nobel was one of the first whites who was charged for committing a violent crime against a black and sentenced to serve time in part of it was 5 years. And I mean, that was just amazing to me, you know, as a researcher, that there were men who were residents of our state who were getting away with murder, and he was charged for his act. Well, while my uncle was in the hospital, he told me that he received a visit from the Big Five. That's Martin Luther King and Stokely Carmichael and all the leaders of the black organizations. And he told me that they asked him 2 questions. He said they wanted to know, 3 questions. Could they restart this walk? Of course, Dick Gregory had planned to do it himself because he was the first person that came to the hospital, his entire family. And he told him yes, he would. He didn't mind them restarting it. And he asked him, who did he think should be in charge? And he told him Martin Luther King. And the other question they asked him was, how did they feel about Stokely Carmichael using the Black Power slogan? He said he thought that was fine too. And so they did resume the Meredith Walk Against Fear, and it became the Meredith March Against Fear. And of course, when my uncle and them were walking, it was only men. He didn't feel it was safe for women or children to walk, but when they changed it, they actually raised money. They received money from people for this march, and tents were bought so that people could have a place to sleep, and also people were transported to Jackson. And the Meredith March Against Fear became the last massive demonstration in the South during the Civil Rights era. It was actually the last leg of it because Stokely Carmichael and his generation, they changed it and it became the Black Power movement. Well, during this march, I understand that Fannie Lou Hamer herself registered about 100 voters. And over 5,000 blacks were registered to vote for the first time since Reconstruction, because, you know, right at the state during Reconstruction, we had a lot of black voters, and they were black men. And, you know, we had some blacks elected to office, John Ward Lynch and Howard and some other people, but we were purged from the voting rolls, and we lost our access to politics for, I think, something like 90 years. And two of the recent awards that my uncle received, in May, he received the Education Impact Award at Harvard, which is where he actually met for the first time Oprah Winfrey at a private dinner at Harvard. And she was a speaker in May, and just like he was. And my uncle actually went to school with her father. And my grandfather, Cap, and her grandfather, Mr. Lee, attended Buffalo Church. And one of the things, I always tell people that Oprah Winfrey and my uncle, Cosesco's most famous citizens that they are. But the thing that also is significant about them both is that they were able to rise economically. Of course, Oprah Winfrey, she's a billionaire, past $5 billion, I think, net worth. And I think that education and being a talk show host, and also she said that she always believed in owning her products, and that those are things that are problems now. We still economically we're at the bottom in American society, and educationally we have resegregation, and we have so many kids that are going to felon schools. I was in Greenville speaking to the students at Urbana High School Friday. And before I know it, I told the students that some of them wouldn't make it through high school and some of them wouldn't make it through college, because it is true. And but I did tell them that I wish that they would consider, if they don't go to college, at least getting a trade. And also teaching themselves as much as they can. Like Richard Wright, he had a 9th grade education, but he learned to be an excellent writer because he read everything he could get his hands on. And he was one of the first blacks to actually attain a literary prize. And he himself, he was, he didn't die wealthy. But, things are changing now in terms of us merging economically into, and actually being a part of the American dream. And the other award, this past Saturday, my uncle received the Richard Wright Literary Award with Catherine Stockton. And to me, he gave one of the most important speeches of his life this past Saturday. He talked about how before integration, the black principal of the school knew every child in the school. And we actually were walking to school, and we had better control over discipline. And now the kids are bused across town from different directions, and we live in neighborhoods where people don't always know each other, which is not good in terms of neighborhoods are better off when people actually know one another. So we still have a lot that needs to be improved. And I guess now that I would really just like to open it up